They laughed while hanging the generals. Then Earth activated Protocol Zero. The broadcast was meant as a message, a warning, and above all, humiliation. Across every known channel, from the rim colonies to the core worlds, the Council's signal blazed through the void. Billions of eyes watched as Earth's last military leaders stood bound beneath the execution platforms of the Zaltir High Tribunal. The alien crowd, a sea of scaled bodies and glinting carapaces, jeered and laughed with sharp, insectal clicks as the nooses tightened around human necks. They thought it was over. They thought humanity's final surrender was sealed with the broken bodies of its generals. Admiral Sarah Voss stood tall even as the platform beneath her trembled. Blood trickled from the corner of her mouth, bruises darkening her sharp features, but her eyes never wavered from the hovering cameras. "Remember," she rasped, the words carried on translator drone. "Earth never falls quietly." The trapdoor released. The galaxy roared with triumph. The Zaltir Confederacy, proud architects of Earth's downfall, bathed in the moment. Their overlord, Archon Vexith, reclined upon his throne of bone and alloy, mandibles clicking in smug satisfaction. "Let the Deathworlders know their place," he declared to the watching species. "Their leaders dangle like prey, proof that resistance is futile." But Earth was silent, not in grief, not in fear, but in calculation. Beneath the ice shells of Europa, beneath the Martian dust, buried within the asteroid cities and sunken vaults of old Earth itself, Protocol Zero stirred. It was not a weapon, not in the conventional sense. It was older, darker, a relic of desperation forged during humanity's first encounters with the abyss of space. Protocol Zero was not conquest. It was not diplomacy. It was extinction. The activation command came the moment the generals' bodies fell. Hidden operatives, embedded across the stars, received the final code. It was simple. Reckoning commenced. First came the silence. Zaltir communication networks collapsed overnight. Entire data relays burned with directed energy pulses. Their satellites reduced to molten slag. The Confederacy's proud fleet, stationed across the Orion Arm, found their navigational systems fried, their AIs screaming gibberish as ghost code devoured their command structures. Second came the black ships. The vessels were never logged, never displayed in human fleets. They moved without signatures, without transmissions, cutting to the void like shadows given form. No weapons fired. No demands issued. They simply arrived above Zaltir colonies, over their shipyards, at their bastion homeworlds, and the dying began. Nanite storms unseen infiltrated water supplies. Artificial viruses, dormant for decades, bloomed in alien DNA, unraveling physiology at the cellular level. The laughing stopped. The Council convened emergency meetings. The Archon barked orders. Armadas scrambled, but it was too late. Protocol Zero was not war. It was inevitability. The Confederacy's outer colonies reported total population loss within 48 hours. No battles, no survivors, just abandoned cities and empty ships adrift in space. On the third day, the Archon himself awoke to find his palace guards dead, their bodies reduced to withered husks. His command network was gone. The stars above his world flickered as Earth's black ships descended, silent and implacable. Humanity's voice, cold and mechanical, echoed across every frequency. "You laughed while hanging our generals. You mocked our warnings. You thought this was victory. Protocol Zero does not negotiate. Protocol Zero does not forget. Protocol Zero ends threats." Desperation filled the Archon's compound. He ordered the planetary defense grids online. They obeyed for 5 seconds. Then the grids imploded, sabotaged from within by human code, seeded decades prior, waiting, always waiting. The Archon's image, his once mighty face contorted with fear, broadcast to his people, pleading for calm, for retaliation, for something, anything. But the only answer was the arrival of Earth's message pods, metallic spheres that cracked open like eggs, releasing clouds of engineered spores that clung to every living Zaltir, rewriting their biology into lifeless matter. By the seventh day, the Zaltir Confederacy no longer existed. It wasn't conquest. It was removal. The galactic powers, watching in horror, scrambled to comprehend. The Dravani Enclave sealed its borders. The Heshtak emissaries offered immediate apologies for their prior aggression. Even the Volok lords, once whispering about humanity's weakness, detonated their own black sites, fearing infiltration. Earth did not respond. The Sol system remained silent, unbothered, untouched. Humanity returned to its quiet rebuilding, its outward calm betraying nothing. But the stars remembered. The message was burned into every surviving species' mind. The images of laughing aliens, the limp bodies of Earth's generals, and the black ships. Protocol Zero was not discussed openly again, but every species knew. Mock Earth once, never twice. Ask ChatGPT.